Listen, if people interrupt you, talk over you, or don't quite take you seriously, it's not because you lack confidence. It's because you're unconsciously ranked low. And since that happened, everything you do gets filtered through it. Most of your actions are ignored. Most of your opinions are overruled. And what happens is you get put in this downward spiral where you start feeling unimportant, unfortunately, because other people see you as unimportant, and that just creates this downward spiral of lower and lower confidence. And most people will tell you, just have a better posture, just speak louder, and a lot of other external stuff like that. But none of that shit really works. I actually call those plaster solutions, meaning they only take care of the problem, not the root cause, not the wound itself. And I'm about to tell you exactly what I mean by that, but just so you understand how important that is, I literally spent a decade of my life struggling with social dynamics or my social life. I got diagnosed with social anxiety as a kid, not self-diagnosed, it's like a therapist diagnosing me, because as a kid I moved a lot of times, and every time I was a new kid, I was getting bullied. So I got bullied for years. That got me feeling rejected, isolated, lonely. Eventually, the way I was coping with it was by becoming addicted to corn. It's a mess. Matter of fact, in high school, I wasn't even able to say a word to my crush for 4 years. 4 years, guys, you realize that. And today, I get to speak on stages, make money doing what I love, coaching, creating, leading. I also do some acting on the side, and I'm an acting director, which used to be my childhood dream. It's just, life is a blessing. I'm dating beautiful women, but most importantly, I get to experience what cannot be bought with money, which is meaningful relationships, a meaningful social life. So how the heck does that happen? Well, it's one timeless skill: charisma. So the reason I told you all of that is so that you understand what I'm about to teach you is not just some theory woo stuff. It's something that I had to walk through that allowed me to solve the biggest pain of my life. So without waiting any longer, let's jump into it. See, what you need to understand is that people will only respect you to the degree that you respect yourself. Humans rank each other automatically, not consciously, but subconsciously. It's instinctive. It signals like, how do you handle silence? How do you react when you're challenged? How much do you seem to need approval, validation, attention? What your body language looks like. This happens before you try to prove anything, before you can show your track record. And I could, of course, tell you to smile more or straighten your back, but none of that will actually solve the root cause, which, guess what? It's the self-image. The self-image. Remember how I said people will only respect you to the degree that you respect yourself? Well, the quality of the respect you have for yourself is the quality of your self-image. Here's why most people's self-image is absolutely cooked. See, self-image is built on proof. You need to win to become a winner, and you need to lose to become a loser, right? Now, the problem is our brains get bombarded with so much information, we would explode if we tried to process it all at the same time. For example, were you focused on your ass sitting on your chair, gravity pulling you towards the ground, or your feet touching the ground before I said so? Were you focused on the feeling of your clothes touching your skin before I placed your attention there? Probably not. You were focused on my words, which means you can consistently choose to focus on so many different things, and what we focus on grows. Where focus goes, energy flows. So what happens is most people get into the habit of focusing on where they failed. And that is how you need to fail to become a loser. You need to lose to become a loser, right? So they focus on all the times they've lost, they focus on their mistakes, they focus on everything that's wrong. But the truth is, what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. We have been conditioned, perhaps through years of evolution, to focus on danger. It's a survival mechanism. So we are naturally biased towards the negative. But if you create the habit of focusing on your wins instead, what happens is your self-image becomes a self-image of a winner. The truth is, there are so many things in your life that went right. There are so many things you can be grateful for. If you practice focusing on that, now all of a sudden you create a self-image of someone who is a winner. And guess who we respect? Winners. So if you've noticed how people tend to not naturally respect you, or maybe even tend to disrespect you, it means you have the self-image of someone who's not worthy of respect. The only way you change that is by you creating the habit of focusing on your wins and focusing on what's right. Now, forgive me for being so passionate and yelling at you, but it's because I have suffered because of that for so long. And once you get stuck into that habit, your subconscious mind will do anything to protect your identity. Again, this is the same mechanism that allowed our human species to survive for so long. So we cannot blame it. It's a survival mechanism. But we have the gift of consciousness, which means we can choose to reprogram it just like it has been programmed. Boom! Mic drop. So what I want you to do from now on, and this is what will solve the confidence issue, the respect issue, all of this comes down to your identity, to your self-image. I want you to create the habit of journaling every single day. It's not that deep. It's 5-10 minutes, bro. 5-10 minutes. Before going to sleep or in the morning or in the middle of the day, whenever you want to. You journal all of your wins. What did you learn? What did you achieve? What's something you're proud of? What's something you're grateful for? You just condition, you practice by asking these questions. The quality of our lives is the quality of the questions that we ask. What can I be grateful for today? What can I be proud of myself for today? How did I step out of my comfort zone today? Where did I find courage? Take control of your focus and you'll take control of your life. All right, that's all for me today. Thank you guys. I'm grateful for you. I love you. I'll see you here soon. Peace.